Booyah! Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Deadpan Studio Presents, a show by Deadpan Studio Podcasts. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope good. Yeah, that sounded corny, but I'm going to keep it. Tonight, I'm your host, The Matt, and I'm joined by, this week,
Tiny, a.k.a. Mick. What's up, fellas?
He's in here in studio. Isn't that great?
So good to be back on mic again.
Yeah, the voice, sound quality is so much better, and he's my boy. I love him.
That's right.
So
Big up.
We've got a really cool show tonight. This band got a hold of us on Twitter a couple of weeks ago, and things kind of snowballed until we were like, we got to have you on. And so we'll get to that in just a moment. Just a little tease there, because as always, we've got to do the business.
Mouthful. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. As always, if you'd like to reach us, you can get us at our email, deadpanstudio18@gmail.com. You can also get us on social media at deadpanstudio18 on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Check it. Also, if you're listening to us, you already have one of the many streaming services that we go through. I've got a whole list of them. I'm not going through them, but I'm going to talk about the most important ones, and I don't mean that the other ones don't matter, but these one gets us our most downloads. So, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio now. Boom. Yeah, there was an uptick on that.
There you go.
And, of course, Podbean. Podbean is our server. We love them. They're good to us. Thank you, Podbean. They're very supportive. deadpanstudio.podbean.com. You can go to the website. You can download the app. You can stream it on your phone. It doesn't matter. It's all available there. Just find the black and white logo, Deadpan Studio Podcast, and you will find us.
Big up Spotify. I've been with them for a while. Their podcasting is amazing, and we're happy to be a part of them as well. So.
That's right. All right, so the band we're talking to tonight, they're based out of Miami, Florida, and they are a metalcore. Wow, that's a mouthful already. Metalcore band called Viscaya, and hallelujah, I can't say enough. You know, the fact that they got a hold of us and said, you know, just pretty much a hey in a DM.
Gotta love Twitter, man.
Oh, yeah.
Love Twitter.
Oh, yeah. So it's very cool. I'm really excited. Normally I have a lot to say, and right now I'm kind of stuck in my own words because we're actually getting ready to bring one of the members of Viscaya on there and on here, and we're just going to talk and just have a good time.
Yeah, we're just going to chill and see what these guys are all about.
That's right. So, without further ado, let's get out here. Here is Viscaya. Thank you, guys. We'll catch you in a bit. Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to Deadpan Studio Podcast. We're doing a show called Deadpan Studio Presents, in which we get to highlight some very important people, very special people with the amazing, in this case, voices. We're going to highlight a band. Now, we were going to have all of them here. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little sidetracked because we were going to have all four of them here, but they got stuck in the studio, but that's okay because we have Dany. And Dany, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
My name is Dany, and it is a huge, huge pleasure to be on the show with you guys tonight.
All right. Yeah, we're completely, honored here. Now, I'm going to be honest, I do have a little bit of jitters just because, anytime I'm talking to somebody in music just my entire life, it's just kind of got me through a whole lot of stuff, which I imagine that's kind of how it was with you growing up, right?
Oh, dude, totally. It's the one thing I loved. After I graduated high school, number one question on my mind was, what's the one thing I love the most? And that answer, it came quick, and that's rock music. So
very cool, man.
It's the one thing I love. Runs through my veins every day.
I hear that. I do. I hear that. Oh, my God. Now, your band is, how do you pronounce that officially?
It's Viscaya.
Viscaya.
Yeah, a lot of people say Viscaya and that kind of stuff, but, it's funny.
Yeah, well, yeah. I guess they can kind of get a little confused with that museum down there near you all in Florida.
Yeah, we get asked if we're, from Spain, apparently. And, there's a thing called Viscaya, and it's very interesting. It's pretty cool, though. We love the name. Very attractive, we think.
Yeah, it means beautiful view or something like that, right?
Yeah, it means beautiful view, and I found that out after, and man, I love it.
Dude, that just kind of really fits with your whole theme. I listen to a lot of your tracks, the feeling and the emotions behind everything. Just Beautiful View just kind of encompasses that.
Yeah, totally. I mean, growing up in Miami, like, there's a bunch of sites here, and sometimes, like, you look at these skylines and you just think, and it's we have a really cool ambience here in Miami, and we just sonically we always try to capture that as well. So, a little bit of magic.
So, from what I understand, you and your bandmates, you guys were childhood friends. Is that right?
Yeah. So another thing, like, in this city, everyone kind of knows each other one way or another. Like, everybody. So me and Max, I've known him since I was a senior in high school, and he was like, I was a junior. He was a freshman in high school. That's when I met him. And he's grown up with Joey, our bassist, when they were even younger. And Lorenzo, the drummer, we've known each other kind of since, like, middle school. So we all just kind of, like, go back, and we all went to the same schools, grew up in the same city, party with the same people, and it's, we all just really know each other.
Yeah, it's that small town love. We get that here. This gentleman right here, his name is Mick. We call him Tiny, and he's anything but that. How tall are you, Tiny?
About 6'6", about 350. Look like a linebacker. Yeah. It's so funny. So yeah, I got the nickname Tiny. Fairly ironically, you can figure that out, I'm sure. But yeah, we're the same way, man. Our group of people, we grew up together. We all went to the same school together. We've known each other 20 years or better.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot of things bounded. It definitely does. Trust me.
Oh, yeah.
It makes things a little easier.
Absolutely. Now, I don't know. It's something I've always, I always wanted to ask anytime I'm talking to a musician of any sort. It's like, it's one of those things I've got to know, because I know the things that I love has always been a part of my life. Was music always kind of the road that you wanted to go down?
So here's the thing. I never, ever thought in my life, hey, I want to be in a band until after high school. Now, mind you, I was like 17, 18. I think that's kind of late, because all these musicians that I listen to, they all have like this, oh, I've been playing guitar since I was 12. Oh, I've been doing this since I was like 9 or something. And I had a little bit of like guitar skill when I was like in middle school by default. But I never in my mind thought I want to be a singer. I want to be in a band. I want to do this until after high school, which is when I thought, what's the one thing I love? I felt like the whole world was like coming down to me in one day. And I had to ask myself, I need something to chase in this life. And it's the one thing I love. Shoot,
Hear,
it's
hear.
a very funny story.
Hear.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things, like, your genre of music. I cannot believe that you didn't have any aspirations for that, just because, man, your pipes are amazing.
Dude, I've been blessed, man. Oh, thank you so much. Truly, man. I don't take that for granted, not 1 second of my life, man.
Oh,
not
yeah.
1 second.
You remind your voice, just to give, people who may not have heard your music or your voice for the first time, your voice reminds me of Jesse Leach, his voice from Killswitch. Killswitch Engaged, ladies and gentlemen. Don't kill me for shortening it.
Dude. Oh my God, it's a blessing to hear that, man. Thank you so much. Dude, they're like metalcore kings. If you were to ask me who I wanted to play with, definitely I would not mind playing with Shinedown, Killswitch, Godsmack, Papa Roach, all these top bands that I grew up listening to when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Now, metal has become a lot more modern. I write metalcore, but dude, right before this interview, I was blasting Motley Crue like no tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah!
Seeing that now.
Dude, like, I'm telling you, like, it's wild, man. So hearing that, like, it's a blessing.
It's really funny that you say that, though, because of course, me and Matt are really good friends. We've been in contact for a while. But he sent me a couple of videos from you guys and was like, hey, tell me what you think about this band. And I was like, dude, the guy on the vocals is killing it. Like, he is down. Like, he's got it. And and then he was like, oh, we're going to do an interview with them. And I'm like, yeah, I got to be a part of that.
Dude, and it's crazy because it's just really shocking because you're talking to somebody who, I don't know music theory. I don't know jack squat. I didn't, at least, but my passion has just built that experience, and here we are. Everything's history, you know?
Well, see, that's the cool thing about music is, it's sort of like what they say about sports, for lack of a better euphemism, it's 90% mental. So the fact that your emotions are tied into that too, you really don't have to know music theory to know something sounds good, especially when you're playing it.
You need to believe in yourself. I had to learn that the hard way. After years of just like beating myself down for who the heck knows what. We all have our own, little things. But man, confidence and believing in yourself and whatever you do goes a very, very long way. A little spark does too much. So that's something I want to tell people every day, just as long as you believe in yourself a little bit, that does really go a long way.
And that's something I try to tell anybody that comes in here on the podcast too. I just did and released an interview with a lady that has a medical cannabis dispensary here, and that's one of the things I was telling her was like, it's all about how you feel about yourself. Who cares what anybody else thinks? As long as you believe in it, it's gonna come out great.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's a lot of different moments in life where you have to decide what you want exactly. You know what I mean? That's kind of a mission on its own. But once you find that and you're level-headed on it and you're just dead-centered on it, which, I learned to be and now I am, it's, the world is yours. It's anybody's, I'm taking my piece.
So, Dany, was it always a 4-man group, or did you guys have kind of like a formation process, or what kind of happened with that?
So, like I said, me and Max, ever since high school, we've, 2012, 2013, we've had our different projects. We've always written music with people. And the band was actually called something else before. It was like Chandeliers or something weird like that. But
I can beep it out if you want to say it.
Yeah, shoot. But me and Max, we ended up just seeing different people who left the band for whatever reason, bumps in the road. But through those bumps in the road, never once have me and Max been like, okay, we're done. It's always been like something has happened. Either a band change or a lineup change or something has happened along the way that has given us the opportunity to be where we are today.
Which is amazing. And I tell you what, it's just my personal opinion. I think you all are getting ready. If it hadn't been for COVID, I think you all would have been, just kind of running the rail so fast, to spread, into.
See, that's also one thing I've learned. Like Max taught me how to think in these kinds of situations, dire ones. Like right now, everyone's stuck inside. You can't do jack squat. You can't play any shows. That's our downtime for us to write like crazy, to communicate like crazy, to really open up our arsenal and what we can do. Because if we are now, if you don't play shows, you're only half a band, of course. But seeing the situation on how they are, you got to capitalize on anything bad that comes your way, and that's a mentality that's does good,
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. So especially when you're in the type of band that you have, you're very fast paced and aggressive, which I like. Now that doesn't mean there's not meaning behind it. There's so much emotion. If when people stop and listen to the lyrics outside of just the hard driving, music behind it, it's one of those things. Like I said, I've mentioned Kill Switch as I Lay Dying is one of my favorites. People don't seem to understand that you all get stuck in a stigma, where it's like, oh, people are just screaming, but you don't understand that's a raw emotion coming out, trying to.
Yeah, just to touch up on that, aggressiveness, these days, when I first started writing for Viscaya, I was really down in the dumps. I was really letting all my energy out into how I felt. But then I started thinking, dang, I don't want to feel sad all the time. I want to feel like I'm taking over the world. So I just write lyrics about not only the struggles, but the victories after.
Yes.
And holding on to that victory and just capturing that. And, there's a track by Kill Switch that it's with Howard Jones. Now, this Fire by Kill Switch Engage is one of the most inspirational songs I've heard in my life. And man, dude, hearing that it's powerful, It really is. it's always amazing to write about the cool things too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, that's one of the things that the messages that are in there. Let's see here. I just the lyrics. I don't know who the main songwriters. I don't know if it's a team effort or
the song.
Do what? Depends on the song.
Depends on the song.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there's a little bit of everything I like in all of them. Like in Cold, my favorite line out of it is, "So many times I have felt you from so far away, because all I know is hope and faith. Is there another way? Hope rests in the arms of those who wait better days." Holy crap. That's beautiful. That's beauty.
Thank you. There's a lot of like, this is kind of hard to explain. I've thought a lot about myself spiritually, and because there's people who aren't spiritual and people who are spiritual. One thing we all have in common is that we all have our troubles and our struggles, for sure. And the best way I could describe that ever was in the song Cold. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
From my point of view. So.
Oh my God, absolutely. That is on my playlist now. So
it's a complicated subject, but I read the lyrics to Cold myself, and I'm like, I can't believe this is actually like ours. You know, like it's right on the button. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I completely understand. It's like you catch a moment, you know, after you've created something that it's, you know, for a while, it's like after you make it, you're like, okay, that's cool, I've made it. But then there's just that moment where you're just in awe of your own work. And that's not, you know, that is, you know, that's not, you know, being stuck up or big headed or anything like that. That's just fact. If you create something good.
Dude, and those moments keep me alive, man. Let me tell you something.
Well, I tell you what, since we mentioned Cold, do you mind if I play that for the audience?
Let it rip.
All right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Viscaya, this is Cold. Feels like it's broken.
chills, man. That's amazing.
That was cool, man. Oh my god, that's a great song. That is a great song.
Yeah, I love playing it live. God dang.
Well, it's kind of why I threw in the little crowd cheer soundbite there, because when you can't play in front of a big live crowd, you got to do what works. So.
Shoot, y'all, it's fun.
Now that comes off your LP that you released called "There's No Sin in Sincerity," right?
Oh, that Cold was actually a single of ours.
Oh,
the EP that we had. Yeah, the EP that we had, "There's No Sin," was actually like our earliest work from Viscaya, featuring you.
I got you. Okay, cool. My apologies.
Oh, you're good. You're good, man.
Tiny, how'd you feel about that song? Because I tell you what, I'm still coming down a little bit.
Dude, it's it's amazing. The lyrics, the emotion, the energy that comes off of it is beyond amazing. Now, is that a real misconception for metalcore music, that it's all high energy, that it's all just go 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 go, like hardcore all the time?
It doesn't have to be, but me personally, I love adrenaline. I love go, go, go. I love fast, fast, fast. You know what I mean? Like, it's the one thing I chase and it keeps me alive, Like, I love, I delve into, like, other genres to chill out, but, man, I rock music at fast paces just keeps me alive.
Oh, yeah. I mean, case in point, you said you were listening to Motley Crue. That's I was listening to Motley Crue on the way in myself. So,
dude, I was listening to Same Old Situations. I love that track. Dude, I love it. I love them. It's so good.
Oh man, yeah. I wish COVID hadn't hit, because man, I would love that. They said, "Oh, we're done. We're not doing it anymore." And then they, kind of backed up on that.
Miami next year. Can you believe that? Oh, I'm so good. Dude, they're going with Poison and Def Leppard. I have to catch it.
Oh, yeah. I tell you what, that was like when we went to go see Run DMC, Aerosmith, and Kiss all in the same venue.
Yeah, that was.
Oh hell.
Yeah, that was. It
was about 2 months before Jam Master Jay got shot.
Yeah, that was actually one of they had one more show after that, and that was their last one together before that happened. Yeah. Let's see. Now, it's funny, Tiny brought up. The misconceptions of, metalcore music. Now, did I read something correctly? Because, if I'm going to have somebody on, I kind of like, stalk all their information just so I have a leg to stand on. Now, did you all start out as like an acoustic set?
So that only lasted for like about 2 months before we realized, dude, what are we doing? We need a drummer.
Yeah.
Because what happened was, back during the time where we started making music, Max and me, we had a band called, dare I say, Abandoned Tomorrow. Anybody who's friends with us know who they are. And, we had a blast. We were extremely disciplined, and we put all our energy into it. And, damn, there were so many, like, stories we've had and stuff. Musically, we've gotten, way more experienced. But what happened was, after 2 years, our guitarist moved to Denmark. Our singer stopped, coming. Yeah. Our drummer left. So it's pretty much me and Max looking at each other like, dang, what now? And it's like, well, we got a girl who can sing really, really well. You know what I mean? And so it's like, let's start an acoustic set. It was just like, we need to do music. We need to do something musical. Like, we can't have it. But then a month or two later, we're like, no, we need a drummer. And we just plugged Max's guitar back. We said, let's do it the right way. Shoot. Yeah. It was wild.
Oh, yeah. Now, okay, so what would you say? Because, you've obviously, I don't know if you like to name drop, but, I like to let the music and the band, obviously sing and play for themselves. But, playing in front of a lot of people, have you given any thought as to, you and the guys have thought about what's going to happen in the next little bit if COVID doesn't go away and things don't open up like they want to? Like, for example, have you thought about the reason I'm kind of tying this all in together, as in, like, have you thought about maybe playing just a big outdoor set where people can actually spread out and maybe go back to some of your acoustic, even though it was only for a couple months, acoustic roots to kind of bridge that amount of time?
So we are planning to do like acoustic renditions of our one of our songs. It's still up for discussion.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as playing shows, we're ready to just go the 200%. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of restrictions in the beginning and stuff like that. But as far as playing shows go, we're just going to like kind of zoom out, see how everything goes, see how other bands do their thing, and we'll totally act on that, But yeah, as far as acoustic work, nothing we're planning yet, but for sure in the future.
Cool. Now, who? Okay.
Wait, do you want me to ask?
You go ahead.
I can.
You go
okay.
ahead.
So there's a couple of things that Matt and I go back and forth about, especially when speaking about musicians and artists. What would you say is the biggest influence in your music, kind of inside your genre and then outside of your genre?
So, inside my genre, I would say I grew up. Well, let me not say grow up. That's a whole line. Influence, shoot, everything from like 2009 to like modern metalcore today. Like that's what really influenced me, because when I was a teenager, man, I was into post-hardcore like no tomorrow. I was just like any other scene kid, just like diving into that thing, loving breakdowns and sing-alongs,
Oh yeah.
And just like having that in my life today is like, feels great. It really does. And outside of that, when I was a very, very young kid, what my grandpa used to do every summer was, since I was born, was he used to drive me from Miami to North Carolina. Now, that's a 12-hour drive. What my grandpa would do, he would play this artist called Don Williams. It's straight up country.
Absolutely no Don Williams. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The most beautiful music I have heard. And being a little kid, trapped in a car for 12 hours, listening to Don Williams back and forth, like, dude, I learned all the lyrics, I learned all the melodies, and, like, I just knew them like the back of my hand, like, by nothing, and I loved it. And then ever since that, I started, when I was a kid, I was listening to Guns N' Roses, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, the whole shtick. Anything from 70s to, like, late 90s and 2000s music was, like, my thing when I was super, super young. When I started high school, that's when I started diving into, like, hardcore and, like, the whole screamo, and, like, man, it took me away. But before all that started, I was obsessed with rock music, Love it all, I'm telling you.
So I have to ask, and this is, if you go back and look at any of our podcasts, we have done a podcast about this particular debate, and I have to ask you, Beatles or Stones?
Amazing. This is good.
All right, cool.
So I was just saying, we've actually even done a full podcast, like maybe an hour and a half show on this topic. But I have to ask, is your pick the Beatles or the Rolling Stones?
Rolling Stones, no competition. No goddamn competition. Stones all the way. I mean, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. How can you beat that? Good God Almighty.
Do me a favor and go back and listen to our Beatles versus Stones podcast.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Go back and listen to this. And
once you listen to it, we can call back in and have a whole nother
Shoot. I'm pretty stuck with their Stones. Let me tell you, man. Good God.
All right. Okay. So along those lines, okay. So if you had to create a Mount Rushmore of music, who would you have up there?
Dang. Ozzy Osbourne.
Hell yeah.
Cannot complain with that.
Shoot. Ozzy Osbourne. James, well, I don't know about James Hetfield. Shoot, I didn't go to his house. Ozzy, Bon Scott, for sure. Ozzy and Bon Scott. Dude, this is a good question, man. Only got 4 heads in there? No!
That's the problem. He only got 4.
Bon Scott, Ozzy Osbourne. I'll throw in Steven Tyler in there for sure.
All right.
And shoot, y'all got me good with that one. So many came to the top of my head, man. But like,
oh yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of them out there. You've got Dio, you've got Hetfield, you got
the best guitarists, you got the best singers, you got the best drummers, you got the best bassists. But when it comes down to 4, good God, that is wild as heck. That is a hard question. I cannot answer that, dude.
that is quite all right. Look,
there though. I have a high respect for Ozzy. That guy has influenced my life.
well, I'll tell you what, we'll put Ozzy's head up there twice in case something happens. So.
Yeah, well, no, you got Ozzy and then you got Black Sabbath, so you can put him up there twice. That's
okay.
I can hear you guys perfect now.
As a matter of fact,
yeah, I don't know what happened.
as a matter of fact, you can do Ozzy twice and Dio twice because they both sing for Black Sabbath.
Well, I know who's going to be on Tiny's Mount Rushmore.
Funny, I was thinking Dio too, but dang, he did his own thing with his band. Like,
Oh yeah, he had an amazing solo career.
He really did.
sure.
So, okay, we're gonna since we were talking about Ozzy, now this song, of course, people are going to say, well, how does it relate to Ozzy? Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to play Under the Rain. And just for some reason, when I first heard the song, I could see Ozzy walking through the scene in the background. So I'm going to play that, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't mind. And here we go. Oh, this weather's killing me. Hey, man, on the plus side, in post, I'm going to put those songs in clean. So the weather is killing me.
Yeah, we'll make sure those sound great.
All right. So,
All right, yeah. So,
okay. So normally at the end of interviews, we have a set of 12 questions, which I like to call the DSP 12, Deadpan Studio Podcast 12. And so basically, I don't know if you've ever watched the show Inside the Actor Studio with James Lipton.
I have not.
Basically, what he does is he teaches courses at NYU, or he did until he passed away last year. And there was a TV show, and what he would do is he would have famous actors, producers, whatnot come in, do an interview with them, and at the very end, he would ask these certain set of questions. Now, of course, I've only taken a couple of his, and I've turned in, created my own. But this is sort of an ode to him because I made it because I adored that show for when it was on.
Love
so, if you don't mind, we've got 12 questions to ask you. Some are real easy, some are kind of introspective. So,
all right, Danny.
I'm ready.
All right. So, first question: what is your favorite word?
My favorite word, beautiful.
What's your least favorite word?
My least favorite. Monotonous. By definition.
Definitely by definition. Monotonous is horrible. What is your favorite part of the day?
My favorite part of the day? Shoot. Seeing the sunrise, man.
I hear
Waking
that.
up early, dude. Just something about that, man. Just not sleeping in.
Yeah, it just kind of opens things up, I think.
There's something about taking advantage of the time of the day. That's really good, man.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. What sound or noise do you love?
Sound or noise do I love?
Yeah.
Electric guitars. Electric guitars.
Hell yeah.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Ask me that one again.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Oh, what sound or noise do I hate? What do I hate? Nail scratching on chalkboard. Good gosh.
Yeah. Amen. I'm right there with you, buddy.
What scent brings you joy?
Specifically, there's this expensive perfume by Tom Ford called Tobacco de Vanille. There's something about this burnt sweet tobacco that I just love. Wood, like wood, burnt wood kind of thing, tobacco-y.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
What scent brings you disgust?
The sewage, the algae that gets stuck in the sewage here on the beach, man.
All right. Now, of course, we were talking earlier about how, you didn't realize until you were 17 years old that you wanted to do music. So, building on that, what other profession or hobby would you like to attempt outside of music?
So, that's a really good question. So it's not as exciting. It really isn't. But this economy is really cool. Like when I'm really on my downtime at night, I just read about world economy.
Nice.
So, whatever that brings me, I am taking a financial course in college. But hey, that doesn't excite me as much as making music. But however, I think it's very important for people to just learn these kinds of things, just to keep you knowing things every day.
Well, dude, if you're going to be in music, you should definitely know how to
manage
your money and economy. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, dude.
And believe me, I understand I have a day job and I work at a bank. So
finance is it's important because I never learned anything about finance in school. They don't teach it. But in the past summer with the whole COVID thing, learning finance really helped me in the 3 months. So, blessings to that.
All right, this is one of my favorite questions ever. What is your favorite curse word?
My favorite curse word?
yeah.
Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch or goddamn. Like, I'll consider goddamn a cuss word. You know what I mean? Huh?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
That's favorite.
If you was from Kentucky, it'd be gall dang.
God dang.
Oh, that's me. That's me growing up every summer in Carolina with my grandparents. Just talking to their friends and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
It got stuck. So.
All right, here we go. Now, we're going to turn the tables on you a little bit because, we're interviewing you. But if you could interview any famous person, living or dead, who would it be?
Oh, my God. I would interview probably right off the get-go Ozzy himself.
Yes.
I have literally I go to bed with literally like the Ozzy Osbourne's Black Rain album right on top of my bed. Like I'm religiously like, dude, like he's like the guy,
Oh, yeah. By the way, his newest album rocks.
Yeah, it's...
Well, dude, he left us with something amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So building on that, so not only interview, but if you could have dinner with anyone of your choosing, living or dead, who would it be?
Doesn't have to be famous. This is just if there's anybody, period.
Anyone. Shoot. I'm telling you, man, musicians have just taken over my life. But if I were to interview somebody, or no, have dinner with somebody, shoot. Oh, it would probably be Marilyn Monroe. Shoot.
Oh, there you go.
That's a very interesting... Yeah.
That is an awesome answer.
That woman's head.
Oh, yeah. There's some stories. There's definitely some stories there.
Hey, you said dinner. So.
That's right.
That's right. I don't know of any male on Earth that has not at one time had her poster around or near him or on his wall.
Amen.
So,
Woman, she's gorgeous, man.
yeah, way ahead of her time.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, now this one's a complete hypothetical, and this is the 100% one that I took from James Lipton, and I just found it interesting that every person that he got, on the show, no matter what their belief system was, he was able to ask that and they answered. So I'm going to ask you, if heaven exists, what would you like God to say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
What would I want him to say?
Yeah.
Welcome to Paradise City, baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm serious as heck. I would. Oh my God. That's what I think, dude. If heaven's out there, it's got everything I love.
Love it. Love it. Cannot love it enough.
I'm going to put it on the record that I would like for him to say, be excellent to each other and party on.
Party on, dudes. That's right.
Well, my man, I think we've covered just about everything tonight. Now, when we leave you with this interview, we're going to end it by playing Never Say Die. But is there anything that you would like to plug, shout out, anything you'd like to do for us tonight?
I just want to say, everybody tonight listening to Deadpan Studios podcast, I love you all. I love you a ton. Thank you guys so much for having us. Check out my band Viscaya. There's nothing more in life than we love than rock and roll and a good damn time. Check us out, and tons of love from the city of Miami.
That's right. They're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and Amazon Music, and that is all that I was able to find just, off the top of the whole search. So
Yeah, we got Tidal, Amazon, all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, look at that. Type in Viscaya. It's spelled exactly the way it sounds. Check them out. They're awesome. And with that, Mr. Dany, I'm going to play Never Say Die, and then we're going to come back, say goodbye, and call it an evening. How about that?
Hell yeah, let it rip, dude.
All right, this is it. Viscaya, Never Say Die. Enjoy.
We won't ever say
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did, although I highly doubt it because I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Oh, yeah, that was amazing.
Shoot, you got so much, goddamn.
All right, well, that's going to be it for us this evening. Dany, thank you so much for being on here with us. It really, truly means a lot.
Dude, it's a blessing. Hell yeah.
Hey, man, anytime you want to come back on, just let us know. We'll throw something together for you.
Oh, yeah.
It's my pleasure.
That's right. Okay, so with that, that's it for us for here at Deadpan Studio Podcast with Deadpan Studio Presents. We're going to hit you on the outro. Check you guys later.
Take it easy, guys.
Whoa.
That was cool.
That was amazing.
That dude is a gentleman and a scholar, and I will support anything he and that band does because...
Dude, the musical composition and the lyrical composition of the music is beyond anything that is going on that I've heard recently.
Oh, 100%. Oh, my God. That's why, I brought up the lyrics to Cold. I mean, slow it down, break it down, and you can put yourself into that. I mean, shoot. Oh, my God. Just Under the Rain and...
Yeah, I mean...
I keep listening. I have the songs going on in my head right now. So I'm sitting here going, well, I could talk about this. I could talk about that. But I think Ozzy would approve.
I definitely think Ozzy would approve.
Rock and roll.
Sharon.
Sharon.
No, 100% agree. These guys are going to rock. You're going to see them a lot more. Hands down. Believe me. Whatever you want to do right now, email me. That's okay.
That's right.
But you're going to see these guys.
All right, so what I'm going to do, the band's called Viscaya. What I'm going to do is I'm going to list off the band members. We didn't actually touch on that, but of course, the person we were talking to was Dany. He's on vocals. We've also got Max on guitar, Joseph, Joe on bass, and also backing vocals. That's, the other voice you were hearing in some of the tracks, and Lorenzo, who did the drums. So very, very talented musicians. I think they're on their way up.
Big up, guys. Hey, appreciate you being in the studio, putting in the hard work.
And the fact that you opened for Dany Worsnip, that says a lot because Asking Alexandria is one of my top 5 bands.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Love them.
Yeah, Into the Fire, man.
Yes, sir.
One of my favorites.
Yes, sir.
But the juxtaposition of being able to take the clean singing and the scream singing vocals is not an easy task. The fact that he can seamlessly go from one to the other, that's a tremendous talent that very few have.
It's an amazing talent that not very many people have. You have to be on your game to do it.
That's right. And that's, Mr. Dany, you sure are. All right, so one more time with the business.
Nah, let's do it. Let's do the mouthful.
Email us, people. Email us. Email
me. Email any of us.
Just put in the subject who you want to talk about, or just don't put anybody's name. Gripe at us, yell at us, sing our praises. Either way, get in touch with us. We're at deadpanstudio18@gmail.com. Social media, we are at deadpanstudio18 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We got the big 3.
Tweet us.
That's right.
Tweet us.
And as always, and as always, if you are listening to us, you're obviously listening through one of the streaming services that we're on. More than likely Apple Podcasts, because if you're human, most of the time you're using an Apple product anymore.
Android.
Hey, we're on there too. We're on
Android. Sir Bradley, Android.
We're on the dude, you got me.
I can't, dude. I'm cracking up.
iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, which is, that would be Android. TuneIn, Spotify, and a whole list of others, including newly iHeartRadio, Pandora, YouTube, as well as Podbean. We will never forget to mention Podbean because they're good to us. They're our server. They've got us on as our server. They're an app. They're also a website. So no matter what, you can find us. Look for the black and white logo, Deadpan Studio.
Big up
We're
Podbean.
here. That's right. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, for Deadpan Studio Podcast, look at that. We've already got a cheering section going on.
Yeah, woohoo!
I don't know what's going on, but I want to be. I want to be a part
I
of
want to
it.
go be a part of that. Yeah.
All right, for Deadpan Studio Podcast, this has been Deadpan Studio Presents with Viscaya, and I have been your host, the Matt.
Tiny.
Catch you guys next week. See ya.